Ryan Poles has made a splash at running back. He has signed former Detroit Lion DeAndre Swift to a 3-year contract worth $24.5 million total with $15.3 million guaranteed. What's going on, guys? I'm back with another Chicago Bears news update video, which I'll be doing anytime the Chicago Bears news going on. There's going to be a lot of news coming your way in the next couple days because free agency officially has began. The tampering period, I should say, has began, so the Bears can now start negotiating with free agents and do a handshake deal and then officially sign them on Wednesday when the new league year actually begins. But all these deals pretty much go through unless a player fails his physical like Larry Ogunjobi did back in 2022. But yeah, talking about this move, guys, I did expect the Bears to make a splash at running back. I released a video a couple days ago talking about the Bears' interest in all the top running backs available on the market. I thought it could be a Saquon Barkley, maybe a Josh Jacobs, which would have been a little bit more exciting, but I'm also not mad at this move because this move is cheaper than, signing a Saquon or a Josh Jacobs would have been. And DeAndre Swift still is a damn good running back all around. The only question I have is he going to stay healthy? Because especially with the Detroit Lions, he could not stay healthy many of those years, which is why the Detroit Lions traded him to the Philadelphia Eagles. So if he does not stay healthy, this is not a good move because we are investing $15 million into him, which is not a crazy amount of money, but still more than you would invest in a rookie running back contract, right? So this move is only going to work out if DeAndre Swift can't stay healthy. But if DeAndre Swift is healthy, he has been a very efficient back in the NFL, both with the Detroit Lions and with the Philadelphia Eagles. And the Bears backfield definitely did need some added juice to it. We did not really have that home run hitter like a DeAndre Swift is because Khalil Herbert does not have that elite top end speed, I would say. And Roschon Johnson definitely is not as fast as Herbert or DeAndre Swift are. But adding a guy like Swift, who is a great all-around third down back, I think this makes a lot of sense on paper. I know some Bears fans are not the happiest because, again, you may have wanted a Saquon, a Josh Jacobs, a Derrick Henry, but I think, if the Bears are not spending big on running back, they are going to be spending bigger on other positions to come. So maybe we could be signing, a star defensive lineman after this, or maybe a center or something like that, right? So, I like the move on paper so far, but let's talk more about what he's going to be bringing to the Chicago Bears. So DeAndre Swift is only 25 years old. He was drafted back in 2020 out of Georgia in the second round, pick number 35. He was a very high draft pick, and the Detroit Lions had a lot of high hopes for him. And you guys can see according to his RAS, it's pretty good. It's not elite, but his speed, especially his long speed, 40-yard speed, is really good, okay? 4.48, and I feel like on tape he's a lot faster than these combine stats suggest because at Georgia he broke, a bunch of big runs through, even during his time with the Detroit Lions and with the Eagles. Like, he broke a lot of big runs through. He was pretty efficient as a running back. So obviously he is on the smaller side. He's about 5'9", so he's not going to be that power back for you probably, but we already got that in Roschon Johnson. So I think he does round out the Bears backfield now by adding a dynamic, speedy option that's pretty elusive in the open field too. And looking at his stats so far in the NFL, so you guys can see, like, with the Detroit Lions, he got injured pretty often. So he only started 4 games for them the first 2 years of his career, then 8 games in 2022. And the efficiency was pretty good, okay? 4.6 yards per carry his first year, 5.5 in 2022. And with the Philadelphia Eagles, 4.6. So the efficiency numbers are pretty decent. And if you look at the receiving numbers too, I think that's the main reason why the Chicago Bears made this move, because they needed a running back that could catch the ball out of the backfield reliably. Khalil Herbert definitely is not that type of back. Roschon Johnson, his sample size last year was too small to take anything really away from it, but he doesn't like wow me as a pass catcher either. Maybe he could be decent, but DeAndre Swift has had a decent amount of receiving production in this league, okay? His second year in the league, 2021, he had 452 yards as a receiver. That is an extremely high number. And last year, the Eagles did not really use him as much as a receiving back as they should have, in my opinion, but he still had 214 receiving yards, and he has 1,412 receiving yards on his career. And if you look at some of the advanced metrics, so if you look at his explosive runs, which is classified as 10+ yard runs, he had 22 of those last year. In 2022, he had 13 of those. In 2023, he also had 43 forced missed tackles, which means tackles that he basically, forced a defender to miss. He had 43 of those last year, an extremely high number. In 2022, that number was 24. So this is a guy that is pretty shifty behind the line of scrimmage and also after the line of scrimmage. He can juke you out of his shoes. If you look at his highlights at Georgia, which was not that long ago, right? He was drafted in 2020. He's only 25 years old right now, still has that juice. He is a guy that can make you miss really in the open field and can also be a reliable pass catcher, which does increase his value a lot to the Bears, okay? Because he can be on the field on third down and be a receiving option and a threat to, run with the football in those 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6 type of plays. And I do want to bring up, even though he has struggled with injuries during his career with the Detroit Lions, he stayed completely healthy last year for the Philadelphia Eagles and had 1,049 rushing yards. So last year he did prove he has the ability to withstand a full season of being an NFL running back, being the RB1 in that backfield. And with the Chicago Bears, he does not even have to be RB1. I think he will be RB1 because we are paying him a good amount of money, but I still expect Khalil Herbert, Roschon Johnson to be getting a lot of carries on this offense next year, because our new offensive coordinator, Shane Waldron, he also likes to run the football, and he likes to run it with multiple different backs. Last year in Seattle, they had a bunch of different backs there that he gave carries to in that backfield. So it could be a little bit of a similar thing with the Chicago Bears now, with having 3 versatile and 3 pretty decent running backs, in my opinion. So yeah, I like the signing for the most part. I don't think it's an amazing, extraordinary signing, but I do think it's a pretty good, pretty decent signing. I know a lot of Bears fans maybe are not going to be a fan of it because a lot of people do not like paying running backs at all, which I do understand. The stats and the data and the analytics say that you can replace a running back through the NFL draft pretty easily, but the Bears also don't have that many draft picks this year, guys. Like, we only have 5 so far. Maybe we get more from trading Justin Fields or trading back in the draft, but right now we don't have so many picks to invest, on a running back, and a signing like this indicates that they don't like the running backs in the draft as much as they like a guy like DeAndre Swift. So from that point of view, I think it does make sense. And the guaranteed money also is not that high, okay? It's only $15.3 million, so you can probably get out of this deal after year 2 if you want to, with very little dead cap hit. And that's something I do like, the fact that we're not investing too much long term into a running back, because that would have been stupid if we gave him like a 4 or 5 year contract. But I don't think any running back is going to be earning that much. And the Bears offense did get better with a move like this, okay? As I mentioned, DeAndre Swift was pretty efficient last year. He is pretty good when the run blocking in front of him is good, as is any running back. And the Bears run blockers up front are pretty good, in my opinion. Like, we have strong run blockers in Braxton Jones, in Tevin Jenkins, in Darnell Wright. Nate Davis is not a really good pass protector, but he is a better run blocker, in my opinion. So, like, this offensive line is probably going to be a little bit similar to what the Eagles had last year. Not entirely, obviously, because the Eagles had one of the best offensive lines in football, but the Bears offensive line in terms of run blocking still should be like top 10, top 12, in my opinion, which is good enough for a running back like DeAndre Swift to really thrive. And again, on those third down situations, he is going to be absolutely crucial, because we have not had a running back that can be on the field all the time on third down until this DeAndre Swift signing. So whoever the quarterback is next year, if it's Caleb Williams, probably not going to be Justin Fields at this point, but whoever it is, I think that quarterback is going to really benefit from having a guy like DeAndre Swift. So leave your comments down below. What do you guys think about the signing? I'll be back with more news very, very soon if the Bears sign more guys today. We still have a ton of cap space, which I'm sure Ryan Poles is going to want to use. So leave your comments down below. As always, bear down.